And now, Effective Communication with Phil Zeller, CEO, Dale Carnegie, Southwest Michigan.
So if it was your last day, what message would you share with humanity? What would you share with the world? If you look at the culmination of your life, what would you share? What wisdom would you bestow amongst us to grow from? So there I was in that situation just a couple weeks ago. It was a culmination of my mother's life, and I was at her funeral. And I called up the priest. She was at her church, and I shared with the priest that, and you refer to a priest as Father. I said, Father, I will be speaking at my mother's funeral, and I want to make sure that I don't step on anybody's toes. It's something that she's requested of me to do for the past 20 years. Now, that's a lot of responsibility. 20 years she's been telling me and all of my siblings that I, yours truly, your host of this show, Phil Zeller, will be speaking at her funeral on behalf of her because she's not there to share her message with everybody at her funeral. So think about that pressure for a moment. It was pressure enough when I asked you what you would share. What story would you share? But in this essence, I had to capture my mother's life and share her story and the challenge and the message that she threw forth through me. Now, mind you, I've shared with you a lot of concrete tools on this show of how to effectively communicate and get your ideas across to other people. And I knew this day that it was time for me to really, truly step up. Yeah, I've done a lot of keynote speeches. I spoke at different venues around the world. I've been hired by the most incredible organizations to move their people to action and produce results with organizations. I get to do that on a weekly basis, which is absolutely phenomenal. I count my blessings every day to produce results with people and to be able to know how to do that, to get people to take action and get results. I love the fact that life has given me the opportunity to learn how to do that, and I can share with other people like I'm sharing with you today how to do this. And as I shared with everybody here who was gathered at the church about my mother's life, what I took the opportunity to do was recognize everybody there by different groups. So there was the folks that all lived in the same condo building as her, and I had them stand up and be appreciated. They are all the people that went to her church. I had them stand up and be appreciated. And all the other relationships she had in the community that she lived in, I had them stand up, all her friends in the community, to be appreciated. And then I came closer into her best friend, her brother, the only living survivor of her siblings, and then also recognized her kids, my siblings, and had each one of them stand up and be recognized for their relationship and share a really positive attribute about them that my mother really enjoyed. So it was a really cool thing to do. And in this essence, I did want people to really understand how much my mother appreciated and cared about all of them. And I also wanted to get her message across. You see, a couple of years ago, she had called me up and she was really stressed out. And I said, Mom, what happened? She said, well, I was leaving the grocery store today, and for some reason the door wasn't functioning properly, and the person in front of me let go of the door, and it wiped me out. I said, what do you mean, Mom? It wiped you out? She said, well, I was carrying my bags, and all of a sudden it hit me, and I hit the floor, and my bags went everywhere. Because those doors are heavy in those grocery stores, and she maybe weighs 100 pounds sopping wet when she was alive. Not a big woman at all. So she's lying on the ground. She's bleeding on the ground. She's hurt. She's in pain. Some other people rush to her aid, get her up on her feet, dust her off, as they say, and get her on her way. And she called me that night. She was very frustrated. And she said, what has happened in society? Why don't people treat each other with respect anymore? Why would people think it's okay to wipe people out like that and think nothing of it? And I asked my mother, well, who trained them? She goes, well, I trained you better. Isn't that a mom thing to say? I trained you better. I said, Mom, yes, you did. You absolutely trained me better. But who trained them? She goes, I don't know, but somebody should have. She said, I'm sorry to share this with you, son, but I'm just getting really tired. I've been through a lot. There's a lot of stress in my life. I'm getting old. I ache. I pain. I hurt. I've got all this stuff going on. And you know what? I'm just tired of being the nice person all the time to everybody. Everybody expects that from me. And I've always been that person, the nicest person out there. But you know what? I think I'm done with doing that. And I said, Mom, remember when you always told me as a kid you can't soar with the eagles when you're hanging out with the turkeys? She goes, oh, yeah, I remember that one. I said, so when you get in your 80s, in your mid-80s, is it okay to become a turkey? And she said to me, no, scratch that. No, it's never good to be a turkey. Forget everything I said. Everything I said, she said it, was stupid, and I'm not going to share that with you. Don't share that, because that's not who I am. I'm a happy person who wants to make a difference with my life, and I want everybody happy, so I'm always going to focus on the good. So take a note from my mom today. If you want to soar with the eagles, don't hang out with the turkeys, and make sure everything you do is positive, and you'll have a fantastic life, just like she did. Now go make it happen.